The early 20th century was a period of significant upheaval marked by rapid industrialization and social change. World War I had just ended, leaving Europe in ruins and its people in despair. Germany in particular faced devastating losses, both in terms of human lives and economic stability. The Treaty of Versailles, signed in 1919, imposed harsh penalties on Germany, further exacerbating its woes. It blamed Germany for the war and demanded crippling reparations, which many Germans felt were unjust and humiliating. This bred resentment and instability within German society, leading to widespread discontent. The German economy was in shambles, with industries struggling to recover from the war's devastation. Hyperinflation crippled the nation, wiping out the savings of the middle class and making everyday transactions nearly impossible. People struggled to afford basic necessities, with many families unable to put food on the table. Unemployment soared, leading to widespread poverty and despair as people lost their jobs and homes. This volatile environment created a breeding ground for extremist ideologies as people searched for solutions to their suffering. Political extremism flourished in this climate of fear and uncertainty, with various groups vying for power. Communist and socialist movements gained traction, promising radical solutions to Germany's problems and appealing to the working class. Right-wing groups, fueled by nationalism and resentment, also emerged, advocating for authoritarian rule and a return to past glories, which resonated with many. They capitalized on the widespread anger and disillusionment, offering simple answers to complex problems. This was the world into which Adolf Hitler emerged, a world ripe for radical change. A failed artist and veteran of World War I, Hitler found his calling in the burgeoning Nazi Party, which promised to restore Germany's former glory. He possessed a charismatic personality and a talent for oratory, which he used to great effect. He tapped into the anger and frustration of the German people, offering them scapegoats for their problems, Jews, communists, and other minorities, thus uniting them under a common cause. Adolf Hitler was born in Austria in 1889 in the small town of Braunau am Inn near the German border. His upbringing was unremarkable, marked by a strained relationship with his father, Alois, who was a strict and authoritarian figure. From a young age, Hitler developed a deep-seated hatred for Jews, influenced by the anti-Semitic sentiments prevalent in Austria at the time, which were widespread and socially accepted. This prejudice would later form the cornerstone of his ideology, shaping his future actions and policies. As a young man, Hitler aspired to be an artist, dreaming of a career in the arts. He twice applied to the Vienna Academy of Fine Arts, but was rejected both times, a crushing blow to his ambitions. This rejection fueled a sense of bitterness and resentment within him, deepening his disillusionment with society. He drifted through life, taking odd jobs and living in poverty, becoming increasingly drawn to extremist political ideologies that promised change and a sense of purpose. World War I had a profound impact on Hitler, altering the course of his life. He served in the German army, experiencing the horrors of trench warfare firsthand, which left a lasting impression on him. He was wounded in battle and temporarily blinded by a mustard gas attack, an experience that further hardened his resolve. The war intensified his nationalism and militarism, reinforcing his belief in the need for a strong, unified Germany. He emerged from the conflict convinced of Germany's greatness and determined to restore the nation to its former glory, believing that only through radical change could this be achieved. After the war, Hitler joined the German Workers' Party, a small fringe group that shared his nationalist and anti-Semitic views, seeing it as a platform to spread his ideas. He quickly rose through the ranks, becoming the party's leader in 1921, using his oratory skills to attract followers. He renamed it the National Socialist German Workers' Party, or Nazi Party, and began to attract a following, setting the stage for his future rise to power. Hitler's rise to power was aided by a combination of factors, both social and economic. The Great Depression, which began in 1929, hit Germany particularly hard, exacerbating the already fragile post-World War I economy. Unemployment soared to unprecedented levels, and the economy collapsed, leaving millions in despair and without hope. people were desperate for solutions, and Hitler offered them a way out, a vision of a restored and powerful Germany. He promised to restore Germany's greatness, rebuild its economy, and create a new powerful German empire, appealing to the masses' desire for stability and prosperity. Hitler's message resonated with a wide range of Germans, from the working class to the middle class, who saw him as a beacon of hope. He appealed to their sense of national pride, their resentment towards the Treaty of Versailles, and their fear of communism, which was spreading across Europe. He presented himself as a strong leader who could guide Germany through these turbulent times, promising order and direction. His rallies were carefully orchestrated spectacles designed to stir up emotions and create a sense of unity and purpose among the people. The Nazi Party grew rapidly in popularity, capitalizing on the widespread discontent and the promise of a better future. They exploited the weaknesses of the Weimar Republic, Germany's fragile democracy, which was struggling to maintain order and stability. They used violence and intimidation against their opponents, creating an atmosphere of fear and chaos, which further destabilized the political landscape. They manipulated the media, spreading propaganda and misinformation to control public perception and suppress dissent. By 1933, the Nazis were the largest party in the German parliament, the Reichstag, positioning themselves for a takeover. In January 1933, President Paul von Hindenburg appointed Hitler as Chancellor of Germany, a decision that would change the course of history. This was a pivotal moment in German history, marking the beginning of a new and dark chapter. Hitler, a master manipulator, had achieved his goal of gaining power, and he immediately set about consolidating his control. He now had a foothold in power, and he wasted no time in consolidating his control, laying the groundwork for his totalitarian regime. Once in power, Hitler moved swiftly to eliminate all opposition. He suspended civil liberties, banned other political parties, and established a totalitarian state. The Gestapo, the Nazi secret police, became a ubiquitous presence, terrorizing the population and silencing dissent. Concentration camps were established to imprison political opponents, Jews, and other undesirables. Hitler's ideology was based on a toxic mix of nationalism, racism, and anti-Semitism. He believed in the superiority of the Aryan race and the inferiority of Jews, whom he blamed for Germany's problems. He implemented policies designed to create a racially pure German society. Jews were stripped of their citizenship, businesses, and property. The Nuremberg laws, passed in 1935, codified the persecution of Jews. These laws defined Jews as a race, not a religion, and stripped them of their basic rights. They were forbidden from marrying or having sexual relations with Aryans. They were barred from certain professions and excluded from public life. The Nuremberg laws were a key step in the Nazis' systematic persecution of Jews. Hitler's regime also targeted other groups deemed undesirable: Roma, Gypsies, homosexuals, the disabled, and political opponents. They were subjected to persecution, imprisonment, and murder. The Nazi regime's brutality and complete disregard for human life knew no bounds.